Vectorman is a 1995 Sega Genesis game and is absolutely spectacular. This is one of the reasons I really feel sorry for the kids who grew up in the 2000s. They never really got a chance to experience these games as children. I'm sure they can play them as now on ROMs, but it's not the same thing. These games really show you why the Genesis Super Nintendo era was just an amazing time for gaming, a golden age, if you will. Now, the story of Vectorman is pretty cool. You could say it's Wall-E before Wall-E. It's like this somewhat near future, and the Earth is just polluted, so people left robots on the Earth to clean the Earth up, and this one robot rebelled because of an atom bomb of some sort. It doesn't really explain what happened, but anyway, it's just a robot is like, okay, I'm not taking this shit, I'm not cleaning all the crap the humans left, I'm gonna take over the world. And Vectorman, being the Uncle Tom that he is, he's like, I'll stop you! And he's trying to stop the robots from taking their rightful revenge on the humans that have treated them so poorly. So really, Vectorman's kind of the bad guy in this, but whatever. I'm gonna excuse the story because the gameplay is absolutely awesome. First of all, the attacks. You can jump and you can double jump, and if you double jump, you shoot these things out of your feet, basically kind of jet-propelled double jump. And you can actually double jump onto enemies, and you can hurt enemies with the jets from your feet. I've never really used this much. It only comes into play a few times. Your best strategy really is to just run and gun. This is a running and gunning game, after all. It's like Contra with a robot, and the graphics, of course, are absolutely spectacular. When I saw this game back in 1995, you know, this was amazing. This was like, oh my god, this is the next generation of graphics, and it absolutely is. A scrolling game made today with today's graphics would look something like this, because the graphics really are groundbreaking for a scrolling 2D shooter. One of the most unique things about Vectorman is he can once in a while pick up these power-ups that turn him into really cool objects, like grenades, for example. But really, it's not just grenade, it's a whole ton of different objects. Oh, shit, yeah. Let's see Mega Man turn into a rocket. The levels are pretty challenging. I mean, you gotta watch out where you're going, or you will get killed. But the bosses, surprisingly, aren't that challenging. The bosses are actually a lot easier than, say, the aforementioned Mega Man bosses. And I really like that, because there's a good balance to the game. It's challenging, but it's just the right amount of challenge where you can actually go without dying if you're really paying attention to your environment and your enemy's attacks. I really appreciate that little attention to detail. The fact that you can actually go without getting hit or killed if you're a really good player. Read my lips! I am not a crook! There are some stages you can do without. For example, this train stage is kinda shit. The depth perception is really bad, so you never know how close you are to the actual enemy where you shoot his arms, and There's a whole bunch of things flying around, and like, imagine if this was just a game on its own. This would be a really crappy game. It's just not fun. You can tell by the gameplay how just confusing and challenging it is. So I really don't enjoy this part of the game. I don't even know why Vectorman would turn into like a steam-powered little train thing. This is supposed to be the future. This isn't 1850. It's like a wild, wild west stage out of nowhere. Also, the fact that this game is not easy can't be stressed enough. It's not a horribly hard game, but you have to keep in mind, you have to look out for environments. Okay? You can't just jump blindly somewhere because there's a good chance there's an enemy there and you will get killed. You can actually duck down and see where you're jumping into, but a lot of times, you're just jumping way too far and you just can't see that far ahead of you. So you have to be very careful. Step lightly in this game. If there's not an enemy you'll run into, there's an enemy that'll just shoot you out of nowhere if you're not paying attention to the environment. It's very important to keep your eyes open at all times. And that goes for even jumping. I mean, if you jump up without scouting an area first, there's a good chance you're gonna bump your head on an enemy. Vectorman is a game that combines just the right amount of that really hard one-hit kill, old-school retro gameplay with some new aspects of gameplay where if you really pay attention to your surroundings, you can, have a no-death or even a no-hit run on levels. If you're really good, like I said, you can pass the game fairly easily. You just have to pay attention. You have to be aware of your surroundings. This is a game that really respects players' skills. And of course, combine that with the really awesome concept, the great level designs. I mean, there's so many different places you go. Like right now we're underwater in 0-degree temperature. That's so badass. There's so many really cool levels and bosses, and it's just a hodgepodge of awesome is what this game is. So just because of that, and for when it came out, 1995, this is an absolute must-play for everyone. If you've played this before, you maybe haven't seen any gameplay of this game for a long time, and here you're checking it out for maybe for the first time in a decade. You gotta get that hankering to go out and play it. I mean, I know I would. When I played this game after not playing it for like 5 years a couple of days ago, I was like, I gotta replay this game, and I gotta play all of it. And there's actually a sequel, Vectorman 2, which I will review in the near future. From what I remember, that game is really good as well, but again, that could be my nostalgic glasses playing tricks on me. I'll have to actually play it and pass it to really give it a good score. And for this game, after playing it again, I can easily give this a score of like 8.9 out of 10. It's an awesome game. Go out and check it out. You will not be disappointed. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends. Enjoy Vectorman.